Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers. Dustin here, Dustin's Dynasty, another week. Um, I've been really contemplating on the second topic for this week, but when I was heading home today from the day program and work, I did a split shift today. Um, I had seen it another a blogger had put on another autism blogger had put about her child experiencing shutdown. And sometimes we relay shutdown with burnout, and they kind of run hand in hand. We're trying, I'm still trying to figure out the coincidence, and maybe that'll be Monday's adulting piece, because I think shutdown is something that a lot of autistics are experiencing right now because of the COVID and because of things not being normal, and we're experiencing a great deal of that. Is things are not normal. We're nearing a year in the pandemic. We're not quite there yet. We're almost there, 11 months, believe it or not. We think we're a year, but it's not quite there yet. It's 11 months is long enough, I think, but we're getting there, and it's going to be some time. I just read in the paper today that the only thing that was obliterated was smallpox. So there's always that chance that COVID is going to be around us. You know, um, we're doing herd immunity. We're doing vaccinations. I'm on some lists. I just there's some in Pennsylvania here. There, you can get it because of your weight or intellectual disability, if you have that on your eval. So that's nice. But and even because I'm employed, I'm on some lists. But I'm waiting to get that. But in the meantime, I think we're just so burnt out. With the fatigue, and I know I shared this week in a blog post about being zoomed out, in our Tuesday concentrating with COVID piece, you know, um, being zoomed out so much with all these meetings. Monday I had 5 or 6 different meetings. I had 5 meetings and 1 phone call in the course of 6 hours, and so that was a little overwhelming. And I had my mother come stop by so she could sign a piece of paper. So that in that 6 hours, I had a lot of experience, a lot of Zoom burnout, and I was burnt out, and it took a long time to recover. Likewise, autistic shutdown is happening more now, and I have to say it is because of COVID. Um, it's more things are getting old. We're getting tired. We want to do things the way we did before March 16th, 2020. Um, we want to get close with our friends. We want to go to the restaurant. We don't want to wear a mask. We just want to do things. We want to get close to people. We want to go and go to big things and have big events like we used to, and have big dining events, and not be 6 feet apart from everyone, and not be in our bubble. So I think, because of all of that, and other factors too, because I've had a year from hell with, yes, we dealt with COVID, but I had many other factors, the pest, and, having to leave my home suddenly, and having to go and move with my parents again after being on my own for almost 2 years, and then having, being, and then, later that year, once getting settled there, then having a new place to go live and get settled in here, and then all that while dealing with work and, day program. And, honestly, I have to say that, there are days now where will fall asleep for 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the daylight. Yesterday, for example, I fell asleep for 2 or 3 hours in the morning. I mean, it just happens, and there's nothing. If thankfully I've been good to keep up on my work and stuff, but it's just, I don't want to be bothered. I don't. There's many days I will come home and the phone is texting from a day program, from friends at day program, or friends, or messages, or and it's just so hard to sit and just do anything, and all you want to do is sit there and give this stare of a gaze with an eye, and you just blank staring, and just not, just like, you don't want to be bothered. And it's definitely different. um Today, for example, I came home. Um, I was very exhausted. I did a half and half day, as I call it, half day at work, half day at program. And by the time I come home, I was exhausted, and I had fell asleep. And I ordered some food. It brought it, ate it, and then I fell asleep for a couple hours. And now I'm up again, and I know it's not good. I took my pills, so hopefully in a couple hours I'll be back asleep again. But it's just it's a challenge, and I think it's something that our body is telling us that we just had enough, and it's just we're just dealing with too much that our brain can handle right now. I've also heard at full times at the moon cycles, at the full moon, it can get worse, and I can attest to that. It can be if not properly eating the right foods, or not properly toning down on the caffeine or what have you. Um, it can cause issues. Um, I've experienced that myself. So just it's a challenge. Would I say it was genetically burnout? It could be. Sometimes we are burnout with what we do, but when we shut down, it's not the same as a meltdown. I want to clarify that too, that it's not the same as a meltdown. We don't throw fissy fits, and we just don't throw fits. We just curl up in a ball in the bed with a blanket, and the blanket is like our love. It just crawls into us, and we crawl into the blanket. And sometimes it could be me watching the same Saturday Night Live Trump debates, either Biden or Clinton, and just being hooked on them and falling asleep to them, or playing the same great stimming songs, that I've been addicted to lately. Those things sometimes help diffuse me getting into bed and getting into rest, and sometimes that rest is needed. So with that, I want to thank you as always. Like, follow, subscribe. Dustin's Dynasty on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you, and have a good night.